This is Odin's Wolf Survival. Today I'm going to be doing a few things with a flint and steel and fire steel. Alright, now most everybody realizes, we'll set that aside for the moment, that a ferrocium rod will ignite cotton. I mean, that's pretty much a given. Now when you're out stuck somewhere, this will ignite a lot of things. But your carry along tinder material, especially if it's dry, wet, you know, if it's dry, no big deal. You can go find stuff pretty easy. If it's wet, this stuff is going to be gold. But it burns fairly quickly. This is another trick that most know. This is your typical chapstick. Back in the day in the service, we had a whole different name for it that I'm not going to mention here because it'd get me booted off YouTube. But those of you that have been in probably already know what it is. Okay, so a little bit of chapstick will make this burn longer. And you'll be able to smell it. As it's burning. If you got a small stick, you can actually make a match out of it. It'll make it burn longer, generally speaking. It's like the Vaseline trick. You know, it's sort of a real light base wax in a tube that isn't messy. We know that your char material, yeah, this is just like candy for a baby, crack for a dealer or a druggie. It gets this going almost instantly. Which makes sense since the sparks are so much bigger from a fire steel than a flint and steel. Okay, so as most people probably realize, you're not going to get an ember flame from the sparks from a flint and steel. Some people may be able to do it, those that have been around since steel was invented and remember it. I've never been able to do it, and I've tried. You can get right at the edge, you can get it going just a little bit, then it goes out. Alright, so what I did find out was I was carrying around a little bit of cotton like that in my kit, in with the char cloth, and it impregnated it a little bit. So we're just going to simulate that here. We got the little bit of char cloth going. So we move that down and hold it. It'll help extend your char cloth a little bit, but not as much as I was hoping. So you've got a little bit of that going. And I was kind of wondered if you took a little bit of this again, with a little bit of the chapstick. I gotta think, when I say that, I gotta think about it and not call it what we used to. A little bit of that, because it's like I said, it's like Vaseline. It's a known flame extender. So we take that, and some char cloth, and you can get away with some other forms, but cotton usually works about the best. I've used other stuff and it's worked, but then my drag method. There we go. That might have struck up a couple ago, but then we'll hold this down again so I don't blow it away. And you can smell it in there. Makes the cotton burn a little bit longer. You can smell the fuel in there. That might be just enough in a bad situation to get things going, especially if you're limited on char cloth. That's kind of my thought. That's usually the limiting factor, unless you have time to work up some plant material into some really, really dry fine powder. The sparks off of a flint and steel are rather rugged to get going. But like I said, these things right here, they throw a hotter spark. So you can just sit there and get that whole mess going, and it'll burn a little bit. These are just tiny bits of ripped off cotton from a pill bottle is where this actually come from. And it works pretty good. That's one way to do it. Just something I was thinking about playing with, and it actually kind of works, because you can see where I've been carting it around. You tear off this little bit and it would actually ignite fairly easily. And that's just bits. This is paper sack. Napkins work. You can actually kind of get them going pretty good. Here's some beeswax. We'll try a piece of that. I'm not quite sure how well that would. We'll get a nice chunk of. That's semi-cooked right there. It's kind of. Even this will work. If it comes up, you can see where it didn't get cooked completely through. So long as your edges where you're catching the spark is good, it'll go ahead and char clear across, which you always get told that it won't work and by supposed experts, but trust me, it does work. Little bit of beeswax in there. We'll see if we can actually get it to ignite. I honestly don't know. I haven't tried it. Not this. I didn't have any luck with the chapstick, but we've got a little bit more heat source here, so we'll go with the now it's going. That drag method's a lot easier on the stone. That's another resource you might not have. Okay. We've got it inside the cotton really, really nice. We got the wax inside the char cloth. it needs some dry grass. It is burning longer. It's down into the beeswax. I can smell it, and it smokes a whole lot, but it also extends the time. I'm just trying not to inhale this. You can hear the wax sizzling. That'll sit there and smolder quite a long time. So once you get that in your tinder bundle, it'll give you more time to ignite it. So that's a plus. Then we're gonna try one other thing that is a flame extender. It's not a fire starter. Everybody calls them fire starters. They're not. This would be a flame extender. This is a fire starter. This is basically a fire starter. Any of this other crap is flame extenders. Because once you get the flame going, or the spark going, that's what they do, is they extend the flame, extend the time that it'll sit there and do its thing. But it doesn't create fire or spark on its own. Simple, subtle difference. But differences are important. I think that by now, a lot of people have realized that Lay's potato chips and a lot of corn-based products and stuff like that are a good flame extender. They burn pretty decent. These things are normally pretty greasy, so when they ignite, they'll burn pretty fair. Now that I say that, it's going to make me a liar. There we go. You can see the oil. You can see the oil in it cooking off. Once you get that lit, it burns pretty good. It doesn't smell real good, but they'll burn for a while to get your fire going. And all it's doing is burning the vegetable oil out of them. But the trick of it is you kind of got to have a flame to get them going. A match, a lighter, which will save you a lot of fuel if you have a bad environment that you're trying to light in. And you actually have some chips handy. That's the thing. Everybody talks about this. Most people eat these things just as fast as they get their hands on them. That's the trick, is not to do that. But I was wondering about something else. When I saw this, whether this would actually work. Because we know it takes a flame. We also know that sometimes the spark from this will get it going. And you can see the black spots in it. Okay, what we're gonna do scrape off some material in this. Just an experiment I thought I'd try. Didn't know if it'd work. Guess we're getting ready to find out. You can see the... Oh, almost. Got an ember going. Nope. That didn't work. We'll try that again. That was close, 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 close. It's almost right there. Maybe on a hot day it might, but on a hot day you don't need a fire nearly as drastically as you do on a cold day. And it's not warm out here. Okay, let's see what this will do. Probably won't. Man, these things are greasy. Little bit of cotton in it. A whole lot of grease. Crushed up chips. A little more cotton, soak it around in the grease in there. Yeah, that just fouls your hands. We'll see if that cotton likes that vegetable oil. Crushing them up will tend to, you can get them to go to a coal, but they're not as easy to ignite as what everybody seems to make them out to be. I mean, you've got to get them burning pretty good before they actually will take off. So, like I said, matches, something with an open flame to it to get it initially going, because it didn't seem to want to ignite. I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying your chances are not good. And if they're not good sitting here when you're messing about, they're going to be even worse when you really have to have it. So take all this stuff that you see about it being things like this being a magical fire starter, flame extender, all this other rot, And when they're showing you in the optimum conditions. Now, this right here is really good conditions. And it's not a bad day. The wind didn't blow and it didn't rain and there isn't snow blowing up the crack of my butt. I'm not shaking from the cold. It's all good. And it was still kind of a pain in the act to get it going. You can actually see how long it takes. And these things burn pretty hot. So it didn't even, these burn hotter and a bit lighter. And even still, you can see you've got to blacken that chip before it'll start burning. And even then, it doesn't burn very good until you actually get enough heat on it to make it start wicking that oil good. And if you got a little bit of a breeze, your day isn't going to be good. Just things to be aware of. This was kind of fun. I was just kind of curious, thought of this the other day and got a chance to do it. And char cloth is easy to make. You know, there's videos online. I got a few videos. Try your hand at the chapstick. That actually doesn't work too bad. But again, you almost got to have a flame to get it going. But if you got it in cotton, a fire steel will ignite it and it'll actually burn a little bit longer. Just one of those things that doesn't work quite as good as petroleum jelly. But that doesn't work as good as gasoline either. So, you know, whatever you got, however it works, just be aware and be careful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And if you like, subscribe, hit the like button, and share it out, please. This is Todd Jaderborg with Odin's Survival, and we have a full burn on the kiln. This is the initial burn of my kiln as a setup, and it's really starting to candle nicely. We're getting flames 7-8 feet in the air easily, and you can see where it's sucking air in through the door. It's sort of what some people would consider a rocket stove setup, but a rocket stove, the fuel is fed in through the door. The fuel is packed into the top of the kiln itself, and it would be packed in carefully around what you're firing. But since we're actually firing the kiln itself, there's nothing in it but wood and a lot of heat right at the moment. Now the supervisor's up to see what's going on.